everyone. Welcome back to episode 2 of The Mindful Consumer. Today, we're talking about nut butters. It was a highly requested item from several people, so I thought I would go ahead and do this one for our second episode. If you haven't checked out episode 1 on yogurts, go check that out. It's on my YouTube page. So for today's review on nut butters, we have peanut butter, almond butter, cashew butter. These are the most common ones I see people eating and the ones that are most accessible in regular grocery stores. So we'll start with peanut butter, which is the OG nut butter. The pros to peanut butter are that it's the most affordable, the most accessible, and it also typically has the most omega-3 fatty acids, and it also has a good amount of fiber as well. So there is another type of peanut butter that you may or may not have seen before, and this is the powdered peanut butter. So this is obviously a more processed product, but if you are trying to lose weight, or cutting down on your fat intake, this is a really good option. So this powdered peanut butter has organic peanuts, a little bit of cane sugar, and sea salt. From the added sugar content, it only has 1 gram right here, so it's not too much there if you're worried about that. So the serving size is 2 tablespoons of this. So I like to use powdered peanut butter in baking products or smoothies because it is a lot lower fat. This has 1.5 grams of fat, and this one has 16 grams of fat. So it's a huge difference there. And it also has a good amount of protein at 6 grams per 2 tablespoons. A regular 2 tablespoon serving of peanut butter is 8 grams of protein, but still pretty close, so I love that. It's a good amount. So if you're trying to lose weight, I would try this out for some things to substitute it. Okay, so next up is almond butter. What I like about almond butter is that it has less saturated fat than peanut butter, and it's a really good source of calcium and potassium. Almond butter also is a good source of fiber. It has the same as peanut butter with 3 grams of fiber. It's pretty close as far as protein content. It has 7 grams of protein per 2 tablespoons. So these are similar, but the main difference is this one has less saturated fat and more calcium than the peanut butter. So the third type we're talking about is cashew butter. Cashew butter, I love using this when I make things that are like cookie dough flavored or for an added protein and smooth consistency in smoothies. Cashew butter is lower in fiber, though. This one has only 1 gram versus the 3 grams in almond butter and peanut butter. So that is a bit of a difference. It also doesn't have as much calcium. It is really high in magnesium and copper, which are good for your heart health and your bone health. And magnesium has also been shown in studies to help with anxiety. So this helps to calm the body. So a really good thing for cashew butter or just cashews in general. This does have less omega-3 fatty acids than the peanut butter, so that's something to keep in mind because we want to keep our omega-3 fatty acids higher than our omega-6 fatty acids. And this one as well is a little bit lower in protein. It only has 4 grams. The next thing I want to talk about is when you're picking out a nut butter, what you want to look for. So with so many options of nut butters, you'll see that things are not always what they seem. You might have a brand that appears to be a really healthy brand or more expensive, so you would think that it's higher quality, but the ingredients might be the exact same. So don't fall for marketing schemes with the packaging of different nut butters, and you'll see this I go through at the store I didn't buy them all because I don't have tons of money to spend on nut butters, but you'll see that there's some packaging that would lead you to believe that these are high quality items, and they really aren't. So my top pick for nut butters is this Kroger Natural Creamy or Crunchy. If you like crunchy, I like creamy, so I always get this. But the Kroger Natural brand is only $1.75 for this normal size container, and the only ingredients in this are roasted peanuts and salt. So it was the most clean one you can find. They do have a Simple Truth organic version, which is exactly the same as this, but the peanuts are organic. So if you try to eat everything organic, you can spend $3.50 instead of $1.75 and get that one, but I prefer to save my money and I go with this one. Okay, so when you're searching for nut butters, the things you want to look out for are added sugar. A lot of nut butters, the second ingredient is sugar, and we don't want that. We want to keep our added sugars low or zero. And another thing you want to look out for is added oils. A lot of nut butters have added palm oil, which is going to increase the fat content of a nut butter, which is already really fatty. It's not bad that it's fatty, it just naturally is fatty. So we want to avoid things that have added oil as well. And then we want to try and avoid added salt if we can. It's really hard to find commercially made nut butters that don't have salt. But if you are getting one that has salt, just check out the sodium content on the back and make sure that it's less than 5% of your daily value. For example, this is an almond butter that I got from Trader Joe's. This is the most affordable almond butter I can find, and the only ingredient on it is dry roasted almonds. Can't see, it's gonna be blurry, but it only has one ingredient, so that's really what you want to look for. The label right here says no salt, doesn't have any added sugar, and this is about $6. So I don't use this as often as I would peanut butter since it's more expensive. Cashew butter is also kind of hard to find, and normally it's going to be pretty expensive. So I also use this sparingly when I get it. So I did get this one, which is just cashews and salt. So I'm okay with that. And the salt content is right at the 5%. So I want to go higher than that, but I'm okay with getting this one. If you use a lot of nut butters, a good idea would be to check out some local stores, or look for somebody that makes nut butters locally, because they might have a more affordable price and they might have more minimal ingredients since it's not being commercially made. Okay, first up is Jif Naturals, whose second ingredient is sugar, which we don't want, then oil, salt, and more sweetener with the molasses. Second is Jif Regular, which I guess is unnatural, which has more salt and more weird ingredients. Then we have Jif No Sugar, which is probably the best of the Jifs and the least sodium, but still has oil and salt. Next is the Earthbound, which once again the second ingredient is sugar, followed by pretty high salt and oil. Then we have Peter Pan, which is the second ingredient, sugar plus hydrogenated oil. We want to stay away from that. This is a Simple Truth Organic, which is minimal ingredients with just peanuts and salt, but it actually is the same ingredients as the Kroger Naturals brand for about $2 more. So I would stick with the Kroger's Natural and save yourself some money. This yellow version has too many ingredients and is very high sodium. Next we switch to almond butter. We have this Barney's brand, which isn't too bad with just almonds and oil, but it is $7.70. The best one is this Martha's brand, but it is $10.99. This one only contains almonds, so if you wanted to make it yourself, you could just grind up some almonds in a food processor. And the Simple Truth Organic brand I'm not a fan of. It does have added sugar and added salt, so I want to pick this one. Finally, we have the cashew butter, which, like I said, is more expensive. This one's close to $8. The packaging makes it look really healthy, but it still has added oil, which we want to try and stay away from. Other than that, it's pretty good. So I hope you enjoyed this video today. Remember when you're checking out the nut butters to check for added salt, added sugar, and added oils, and try to get a nut butter that doesn't have any of those if you can. If it has added salt, try to keep that below 5%. If you did like this video, be sure to like it and comment below. And if you want to see more content, subscribe to this channel to get notified when I post a new video. Thank you.